Hello, everyone, and happy Easter. I want to start our time together right now by talking a little bit about why we celebrate Easter. And to think about why we celebrate Easter, we have to go all the way back to the very first Easter. A few days before the very first Easter, Jesus had died. And on the very first Easter, some of his friends went to the tomb where they had buried Jesus to help take care of his body. But when his friends got to the tomb, it was empty. There was a messenger from God there, and the messenger told them, Jesus isn't here. He has risen. They were telling them, and that messenger still tells us, God made Jesus alive again. And God making Jesus alive again is why we celebrate Easter. So if it's a holiday that celebrates God making Jesus alive again, then why all the eggs? There's eggs a lot when we celebrate Easter. You can even see behind me, we have some eggs decorating our house for Easter. Well, there's a lot of different reasons why they have eggs with Easter, but I want to tell you just a couple of them. First of all, will you pick up the chicken egg and hold it up so that people can see it? Be gentle. And hold that up. That's a chicken egg. Everybody knows what these are. This doesn't look like it's alive, does it? It doesn't look like much of anything. But there's new life inside. There's life in here, and when that life is ready, it breaks through the shell and comes out into the world. So regular eggs remind us of the way that new life broke out of the tomb and into the world when God made Jesus alive again. But there's other kinds of eggs that we have at Easter too. Sometimes we see eggs like this. They're decorated. This one's all nice and red, or maybe it looks pink, but it's very nice. So why would we have decorated eggs? Victor, will you crack that egg open for me? Give it another crack. There you go. What's inside? What's inside?
Nothing.
It's empty.
Yeah.
The egg is empty. So when we have decorated eggs that are empty, that reminds us of the empty tomb. That reminds us of when the women came to find Jesus there, it was empty because God made Jesus come to life again. And then there's other kinds of eggs that we find too. Sometimes we have these nice eggs. Does that one feel like it's empty? Feel it. No, that doesn't seem like it's empty. Why don't you crack that open on the table there? Give it a good hard crack, or just pull it apart. Sometimes when we open plastic eggs, what came out?
Kisses and hugs.
What came out? This was full of candy. This might be my favorite kind of egg, the ones that are full of candy.
Yeah,
why do we have eggs that are full of candy? Because it's not what we expect to find in an egg. Maybe we find the yolk and the white. If we find it empty, that's strange too. But if we find it full of candy, it reminds us that when the women went to the tomb to look for Jesus, they didn't find what they expected. They found that sweet, sweet promise that God made Jesus alive again and that God will make us alive again. So whenever you see eggs around Easter, whether they're the regular eggs, whether they're your decorated eggs that are empty on the inside, or whether they're eggs filled with candy, remember, all of these eggs are there to remind us about how God made Jesus alive again and how God promises to make us alive again too. So let's share a word of prayer. Dear God, thank you for making Jesus alive again.
Thank you for making Jesus come alive again.
Help us to know that Jesus is still alive.
Help us to know that Jesus is still alive.
And still loves us now.
And still loves us now.
Help us to share this good news with others.
Help us to share this good news with others.
Amen.
Amen.
Well, thank you for your help, and thank you, everyone, for joining us for this wonderful celebration of Easter. Peace be with you.
Peace be with you.